Well, good morning, reseller friends. Drinking a little coffee, waking up. It's like almost 8 o'clock here, and got a few little odds and ends to do today. First thing is to get this Wii shipped out, and I'll show it to y'all real quick. So it's just a regular old white Wii, and it's got the this is a third-party controller here. I think that might have hurt the value a little bit. What I did was I just bundled some not so great games. I mean, Wii Sports is pretty good. I wanted to put that with it, but the rest of the games are fairly low value, not things I want to sell individually. So, and this is the Wii that has the GameCube controller ports up here. So, but it's all tested and everything. It works fine. I got 60 for it plus shipping, and I was a little disappointed. I started higher, but I haven't really tracked Wii prices. I imagine with the imminent release of the next, Switch, the Nintendo Switch, that's gonna send the Wii prices down for probably a pretty good while. It's because it's now it's gonna be 2 generations behind. So I'm looking forward to the Switch. I think we're probably going to get one. Looks pretty cool. So let me pack this thing up, and I had to scavenge my packing materials. So this is basically what I'm working with here for packing materials. I went and found what I could out of some packages that we had sitting around here that we had ordered. So I'm totally out of bubble wrap and peanuts. So I was looking at the games I was about to ship out, and I kind of made a mistake here, and I didn't check the games out real well. Some of them are a little bit scratched. Like they probably would work, but they might not in some spots. So I decided to go ahead and get out the JFJ Easy Pro. You guys have probably seen it on other videos. I'll tell you, I think it, in my opinion, it will get 99% of the disc you put through it, if you take the time, it will get them working. I don't think that it gets them to a mirror like new finish, like it claims to, unless I'm doing some things wrong. But it does make them play though. So I think it's really, really good on light scratches. The deeper scratches, you got to go with the sandpapers and this and that, kind of a pain in the butt, but it's not magic, guys, because I mean, basically what we're dealing with this JFJ Easy Pro, you've got a motor on a spindle right here, spins this buffing pad or whatever pad you put here, and then your disc sits here. And so, I mean, it's not anything high tech. It's just basically a spinning device. That's all it does. So let's go ahead and run through one though. Okay, so these discs are all fairly light scratches, so I'm just going to use the blue. There's another solution that comes with a white. Blue is what I usually use for the lighter scratches. Sometimes I'll break out the white if they're a little bit deeper. The pad, before I start, I read in the Amazon reviews that if you like spritz it with a little water just to moisten it up, it helps. And what you do is you just put a little bit of the solution on the pad. I usually just kind of spread it out with my finger a little bit. Okay, and it doesn't take a whole lot. And then I'm working with one hand. I've got a tripod little adapter thing for cell phones coming in. I have one before, and it's like everything else. I don't either. I threw it out or it's in a box in storage and I can't locate it, but I have another one on the way. Put the disc in, got my solution on, and then close her up, turn it on, and then they have all these different buttons: 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. I'm gonna do 20 seconds. So it comes out. Look, it's just spinning. That's all it does. Okie doke. The machine has stopped. I hate this one-handed work. Let me take a quick look at the disc. Huh, okay, well good. I mean, I know you probably can't see it. I'm not gonna try and do it one-handed, but what I'm gonna do now is just, I have, isopropyl alcohol and a rag. I'm just gonna kind of wipe the residue of the stuff off the surface. And this one actually looks really nice. I gotta say, that's actually the first time that I've wet down the pad prior, because I went on Amazon and looked at it real quick before I started this little clip, and I think wetting the pad down helped a bunch. So might have to check that out. So I guess this won't mean anything because you didn't see the before, but this is the disc afterwards, and I could run it through another cycle if I wanted to, but I know it'll play now. At this point though, there are a lot of little micro swirls in it, but I mean it's fine. I could get it better, but I'm just gonna move on. Okay, here is another game. You can see it's got, that's just a fingerprint down there, but it's got pretty good many surface scratches on it. They're not real deep. It would probably play, but let's see what it looks like after I run it through the machine. And I'm going to do a cycle just like you saw in the last one. Okay guys, here is the after. There are still some light scratches. I don't know how well I'm picking this up, but nothing like it was. And if I spent more time with it, I could get it better. I don't think I could get it perfect, but it would be better than this. This is easily good enough. It'll play fine. So like I said, this is the JFJ Easy Pro. I would recommend it, but I think you need to have proper expectations that you're basically getting a spinning pad on a motor. So moving on. Okay, so we is all packed up, and I wanted to show y'all the scale real quick. This is a tree scale, and no, I'm not selling anything, but I just wanted to show y'all how just such a small touch makes such a big difference, in my opinion. I know it's an inanimate object, but watch what happens every time you turn it on. Watch what it does. It greets you. That didn't cost them a dime to add that feature on there, but it's so friendly, so polite. And every time I use this scale, it's 7.3. All right. Every time I use this scale, I look to see it say hello, and there it is. And I think, oh wow, that's so polite, even though it's a scale. And then when you turn it off, look, bye. It greets you and it tells you goodbye. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm on my way to the other pair of storage units to go get all my eBay stuff out of them, and it's a little bit farther drive, a lot farther drive actually, because to get storage units that hadn't flooded, we had to drive a pretty good ways to find them, and we had to secure them pretty quickly because right after the flood people were getting storage units like crazy. So anyway, when I was cleaning those discs, or resurfacing, or whatever you want to call it, it made me think about how many times I've been asked the question, do you test all your games? And I've been asked that question at least 5 or 6 times on YouTube alone, and in other venues too. So the quick answer is no, I don't. And I think that kind of brings us into a larger conversation about risk and risk tolerance. I've got a background, kind of a statistical numbers type background. I used to play a lot of poker. I worked in a poker room. I was a manager for a while. I was a dealer, and I was really into examining different situations and looking at the risk and then making decisions based on that. And I think there's always going to be risk involved, and then you have to temper that, I think, against things like, how much time is it going to take to test those games, and what is the likelihood that one will be bad? How experienced am I at examining the surface of a disc and ascertaining whether it will successfully play or not? All those things come into play. Like, if I had zero experience with video games and I was gonna try and sell them, well, at first I would probably advise testing every one, because you're probably not qualified to make that judgment. So knowledge definitely comes into play too. So kind of cash in on that knowledge when you're dealing with games, and save some time by using your knowledge, which time is money, right? So that's a straight cash in of knowledge for money. So but then the risk tolerance can go into other areas too. Like, anything under $100 I never buy insurance for. I figure, I look at the numbers and I say, well, if I got to pay $1 or $2 on each and every one of these packages that goes out, because I ship a lot of first class package. And for those of you that aren't in the States, first class package doesn't have any type of insurance automatically or free attached to it. Priority mail comes with at least $50 insurance and no charge. But I ship a lot of first class and I never buy insurance. And you just do the math. If you ship out, say, 100 packages, and you have to pay $2 on each package to insure them, and you have one package that gets lost or destroyed, and you have to claim the insurance on it. Well, you're going to get $100 back, but you spent $200 to get 100, so you're down 100. That doesn't make much sense. Now, if the post office was worse than they are, and there was a higher likelihood of it occurring, well, they would probably raise their insurance rates, for one thing. And but if that was the case, then insurance would be a good deal, and I would buy it. But insurance, in my opinion, is almost never a good deal. Well, it's not an opinion; it's a fact. Insurance is not a good deal because the people selling the insurance are making money from the insurance. Like when I worked for AT&T, I was a phone man a long time ago, and we had a paper in our work truck, and it said self-insured. It was like a proof of insurance, but Bell South, or AT&T, like it is now, they knew insurance was a bad deal, but they had the financial backing to not buy insurance and just insure themselves. Hey, we have billions of dollars. If something happens, we'll pay for it. Me personally, driving a car around and I could possibly injure somebody or damage property that I don't have the funds to cover. So for me, insurance makes sense. Even though I'm paying for the privilege of buying insurance, it's a good deal. It's a good trade. So, health insurance, another thing. yeah, it's not a good deal. They're making money off of it, but I'm not willing to take that risk on alone, so it's a good purchase for me to make. Life insurance the same way. You know, the service contract on a $39 radio, and no thanks. I can take that risk on. So, you know, whenever I get questions like that, it's you know, I can answer what I do, but it's not necessarily going to be a good answer for them. So, you know, for me, like up to like a $20 or $30 game, I'm willing to look at the game and say, yeah, it'll work fine. It's good. And I'm almost always right. Now, you know, here's another case. I sold my MacBook Air last week. You know, I got like $500 for it, a little over 500, I think. And when I shipped it out, I insured it for the full amount, and I got, you know, signature required and all that stuff. I protected myself as much as I could because I know it would really kill my week if something happened there, and you know, I don't want to cover that. I don't want to take all that risk on myself. So, you know, some of it's a financial thing, and some of it's what do you feel comfortable with. And I think just, you know, in general, I have a higher tolerance for risk than most people. I don't mind a gamble. I'm kind of a gambler by nature, so I don't mind taking a gamble on stuff. You know, sometimes it works out, and sometimes you lose. You know, but that's just a little chat about risk, guys. I mean, I would be interested to hear what y'all think. I mean, some people are going to think, yeah, it makes sense. Others are going to say, well, that's foolhardy. You should always cover all your bases. You're going to end up getting negatives. And I can tell you, you know, being, you know, kind of a gambler, it pays off in time and money. But in the past 6 months, without a lot of selling, I have one negative on my account, and that is from a game that didn't work. They dropped a negative on me, and you know, they didn't even contact me or anything first or anything like that. They just said the game didn't work. Negged me, didn't ask for a refund or nothing. So, you know, it didn't pay off that time. But I don't mind having a negative or two on my account either. So, to live by the sword and die by the sword. If you absolutely couldn't fathom having a negative on your account on eBay, then you should test and double check every single thing you do, because that will stop that from happening or make it less likely. I've got, in the past year, I've got almost 900 positive feedbacks and 2 negatives. So I think my score is around 99.7%, and that's good enough for me. If it's not good enough for you, then you'll have to spend a little more time to be more diligent than I am. So I'm not perfect, and sometimes I don't even try to be. So just a little honest conversation about risk, guys. So I'm almost to, well, not really. I got a little ways to go, but I'm going to cut the camera off because I don't want this to run too long. All right, so here I am at the other storage place. These are the 2 units I have here. And look at this. This is terrible. A lot of this is clothes and stuff that we had to quickly bag up or pack up however we could and get it over here. I would estimate that half of this stuff is like personal stuff, and the other half is my inventory. So I need to get this down to 1 unit, or I want to get this down to 1 unit by the end of this month. So hopefully today and tomorrow, and then I can move everything over. You can see I got a couple of nice racks there that I can use in the other storage unit. These shelves here, this one and this one, I actually got from across the street right after the flood. They put them out on the road be picked up, and they got water up like about right here, but I mean they're fine. I pressure washed them, and before I bring them back, I'll probably paint them just to make sure there's no ill effects from floodwaters. So okay, so back at the 10x20 unit. So I got this thing all emptied out, and it's about as clean as it's going to get by me. Storage manager's going to have to come in here and sweep and pressure wash or whatever it is he does. If y'all look, that old nasty flood mud, that river mud is all over the concrete in here. So Dan will appreciate having to get that up, I think. Let me go see Dan. I owe him a lock, and I'll tell him this unit's ready to turn over. I'll go up to the office. Here is the 10x10 climate control, and you can see like I'm really trying to utilize my vertical space, and I've got a lot of room left actually on these shelves up front here. I packed them in pretty tight, not much of an alley there, but I can put stuff down below. That shelf's hardly used. Really started up top, and this shelf is fairly full up there, and I got some room down there. So got another rack there, got a bunch of stuff high up, and I could put a bigger shelf right here after I get some of those shelving units from the other place. But let me go ahead and turn this key into Dan. So here's my good buddy Dan. He's the manager of this joint.
Hey.
And apparently the chief bucket washer.
Management duty.
Dan, here's your key and lock. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And it's all cleaned out, ready to go.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Excellent.
Anything exciting in the world of storage today?
I'm cleaning out a new office, so I'm moving into a new office.
Oh, sorry.
That one.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So they own this building, all those storage units, and that building right there. So, all right, Dan. Later, man.
Thanks.
All right, guys. So I got the 10x10 all packed up. Yeah, it's not completely full now, but oh god, it's getting there. Still got that shelf back there completely empty. I've got some space here, but I can see a time when I'm not going to have space. Now I could definitely put another rack in right here if I can get this piece of furniture out. So need to work on that, and this is not an efficient shelf here. I need to replace it with one of those taller ones that I have. So I think if I put two big shelves in here, it's gonna help. And then of course, if I can get a bunch of this shit either thrown away or sold, that's gonna be the best way to take care of this issue. I think that might be it for today, guys, unless I think of something else. So I will, as gabby as I've been lately, I'm sure I'll probably talk to y'all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye. Cut! You remember this? This is the, some of y'all might remember the clapper. Found it in one of the boxes. Almost forgot. You could tell the last time I used it. It says up top, Friday haul. And date was 7/29. So that was like 2 weeks before the flood. And what was that, like 5-6 months ago? So glad I got it back. Bye, guys.